measure the perimeter, like we said, it's the area around each of the edges that each of the edges equals up to. So if I want to measure the perimeter in centimeters, take my ruler, okay, and I will measure this, and this comes out to, and you can round it to 15 centimeters right here. Okay, so I'm just going to make this 15 cm. Okay, now the bottom one should be the same length. I'm just going to go ahead and measure that and check that to see if that is indeed 15, or at least close. And yes, it is. Okay, so this is also 15 centimeters. Alright, then I've got to measure the sides, both sides. Okay, and if this is a rectangle, which it appears to be, I know that each side is, the opposite sides are going to be equal, so this one comes out to about 11. Right down here. Oh, you can't see it. So right here, about 11. Okay. Centimeters, and I'm using cm for the abbreviation. Alright, and then over here should be 11 centimeters, but I am going to check it because I want to make sure. And indeed, it is 11 centimeters. Okay, and then so I found the lengths of each of the sides. Now, in order to find the perimeter, I have to add all these sides up. Okay, so I'm going to write perimeter. Perimeter equals, I'm going to say 15 plus 15. I know that's 30. Okay, I'm just going to write it though. 15 plus 15 plus 11 plus 11. Plus 11 plus 11. Well, I know 15 and 15 is 30, and I know 11 plus 11 is 22, and so 30 plus 22 equals 52. And so the perimeter equals, I'm just going to write P for perimeter, equals 52 centimeters. Okay, so the perimeter is just how long all the edges are put together. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all you got to do. Alright? In order to measure perimeter. Now I measured it in centimeters. We could go back and do the same thing in inches. Okay, if we wanted to. I'd probably, since this is a piece of paper and I can just turn it over, okay, I can make an inches side, and I could go ahead and just measure that in inches. Remember, inches are my bigger measurements, and I'll go ahead and do that real quick. 6 inches, and IN for inches. And then come down here, again, 6 inches for the bottom. Alright, and then over here, let's see, this is about 4 1/4 inches, but you can round up to the half if you want to, but I'll say 4, and I'll say 4 1/2, round up. Okay, because it'll want you to measure it to the nearest half inch, probably. And then, well, I want you to measure it to the nearest half inch. And again, this is close to 4 1/2 here. So 4 1/2. So then I want to know about the perimeter. Okay, so I'm going to add these up. I'm going to say 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 6 equals 12. And then 4 1/2 plus 4 1/2. Half plus 4. I know 4 plus 4 is 8. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. So then I have 12 plus 9. And so my perimeter P equals 12 plus 9, which is 21. 21 inches. Okay, so if you were thinking 21 inches, you would be correct. Alright, so that's how we measure perimeter. I did it with a rectangle. You could just as easily do it with a triangle. Okay? Instead of measuring the sides of 4 sides, you would have to measure 3 sides. Okay, so let's say this is a triangle you're measuring. You would have to just measure this side, and this side, and this side, and add those 3 sides up. Okay, so that's how we measure perimeter.